Welcome back, hockey fans, to Royally Quacked, where I'm royally and they're quacked. Well, how's it going, guys?
Well, for the third week in a row, we have a guest.
Yes.
I do like the background, Adam, though. I really do.
That's our actual LA logo for the Patriots. So it wasn't my choice, but the team voted on it, and since we're out of LA, they wanted an LA style logo.
Yeah, well, it looks good. I like it. I really do like it. So,
but how you been, Adam? It's been a while.
Doing all right, guys. How you guys been?
We've been busy.
After this week, not as good as I usually am. You know, after the
Thursday.
Yeah, after Thursday.
Yeah, it's a good thing I was working. I didn't have to see that.
See, that's the only thing about working days now. I mean, I like that I get to watch more games, but at the same time, I get to watch more games.
I'm a little jealous. I had to listen to it.
Oh, you had to listen to it? That's the worst part of it.
Well, it was good for me.
I mean, I watched the first period. The first period was good, and then I went to work and then checked the score later, and I was like, "Oh, okay." That was kind of bad.
Too many penalties for both teams in the game, no matter what the score ended up. Too many penalties.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that later.
The Ducks said the two previous games had 6 penalties and killed every one of them.
Yeah, and talked about in the broadcast, which is probably one of the broadcast peoples that talked about it and jinxed us. So I blame them.
Yeah, I saw that in the notes.
Oh no, that's not what I'm mad about. That's not what I'm mad. But I'll get to that later. Because it's not just from one side of the fans; it's from both sides. I've heard stuff, but yeah. So why don't you start with Kings news, Dad?
Okay. So Darcy Kuemper has joined some pretty good company after earning a 20-save shutout, 5th of the season, and he has allowed only 2 or fewer goals in 15 consecutive starts. It's just the 5th goaltender in NHL expansion era to do so. So, I mean, he's probably their MVP, to be honest with you. I mean, he's been spectacular here lately. The other news is draft pick Hampton Slukynsky leads Western Michigan to the Frozen Four final, beating defending champion Denver 3-2 in 2 overtimes. And they play Boston University tonight for the championship. Freshman, goalkeeper. I mean, I remember when they drafted him and hearing the stats he had in high school, it was like unbelievable. He was like 39-1, and the only loss was in the state final, and they lost like 2-1 or something. And I go, to me, he's someone special. And then they got Carter George, another special guy. I mean, we look like we could have 1A, 1B in the future, for sure. And then the last bit of news is, I mean, if anybody was watching the game or listening to the game Monday night, Adrian Kuemper had to leave, I think, during the third period or just before it started, because his wife, Cyan, was having a baby, and they welcomed their first baby, a daughter girl. And
baby Juice.
Baby Juice. I have not heard the baby's name, or I would have shared it. I tried to find it today, and I could not find anything that said a name for them. So, and that's Kings news for the week.
All right, we'll move on to Ducks news. So the Ducks have 6 players this season who scored at least 17 goals this season, and that's the first time it's happened since 2006, 2007. Wow, that year sounds very familiar, doesn't it, for us Ducks fans? Yeah,
It was
it's the year they won the Stanley Cup. So, and I believe now we have 5 players that have scored 20 goals this season. I don't have the last time that happened for the Ducks, but for I'm just glad that we're seeing more scoring for the Ducks side ish. Yeah. But next big news: the Ducks have signed forward Carey Terrence to a three-year entry-level contract. Terrence, who's 19 years old, had 20 goals, 39 points through 45 games with the Erie Otters this season. He was the captain of the Erie Otters. And I don't know if you other hockey fans out there know that there was a famous hockey player now that used to play for the Erie Otters. Do you know who that was? No?
I don't.
No?
There's silence.
We have a specific nickname for him. Connor McJesus. He was an Erie Otter. So.
Now that you say that,
it rings a bell now?
It rings a bell now.
Yep. Then last bit of news is John Gibson has been the nomination for the Anaheim Ducks for the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy. Did the Kings, did they nominate who their Masterton was?
I have not heard that news.
Okay.
So maybe they haven't done it yet?
Maybe. Let's see. And then we're going to move on to league news. I'm pretty sure I missed 1 or 2 teams on this, but I can check while we're talking about it. You want to go with the first one, Dad?
Sure. The Boston Bruins, Philadelphia Flyers, Buffalo Sabres, Pittsburgh Penguins, Vancouver Canucks, and Utah Hockey Club have officially been eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah.
And who'd have thought Vancouver and Boston would fall that hard?
Well, even Pittsburgh, too. I mean, I know Pittsburgh's kind of trying to rebuild a little bit, but Pittsburgh's usually always in the mix.
Yeah, especially when you have Crosby and Malkin and Letang, Erik Karlsson.
Swayman.
Yeah, I just sent you through Messenger, Cody, a bunch of reels. One of them is see Sid the kid come walking in. Hi, Sid. He walks in, grabs all the sticks, goes back out, puts them in the truck, and then takes off his mask, and it's Marc-Andre Fleury.
I love their relationship. I love their relationship. He's always trying to prank Sidney Crosby every time.
I mean, that's what hockey needs to get the, not big hockey fans into it. They start seeing the personalities. These commercials that they're doing now, it's leading. I mean, look at what's happening with hockey. I mean, look at what's happening with just the cap. The cap keeps growing because more and more people are getting into hockey.
Yeah. So you guys want to hear some? I don't know if you guys heard this or not. It was the last time the Detroit. I know they haven't been officially eliminated yet, but I'm pretty sure they are. But the last time the Boston Bruins and the Detroit Red Wings missed the playoffs. Do you remember when that was?
No.
Wow.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. 1967.
Oh, that's farther
back when the Kings' first season?
No, before that even happened.
Well, the Kings were created in 67.
Yes, but they were they became an expansion team in 1967 to start that season. But the Maple Leafs won that year also. And that was the last time the Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup as well.
Wow.
And I believe that was also the last time Toronto even won the division. And Toronto is, I believe, number 1 in their division.
For now.
For now. I mean,
the whole East thing is crazy. Because there's so many teams still they're probably not going to make it, a lot of them, but they're not eliminated yet. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they have to win every game, and everybody above them has to lose every game.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty much like with the Ducks kind of played spoilers this week with Calgary. Speaking of spoiling, I just spoiled that a little bit, but I just thought that was a kind of an interesting fact with the whole last time Bruins missed and the Red Wings missed. I mean, that's a lot of years in a row where one of those teams were in the playoffs. So,
I mean, I would have said probably early 2000s because that was about a time where you didn't really hear a whole lot from them, but I didn't think it would have gone far back as 67.
No, the Red Wings in the early 2000s were one of the best teams.
Yeah, they had Lindstrom.
Yeah, Lindstrom, Yzerman.
Yeah.
Hasek was probably there. They had Chris Osgood for a while. Who else?
I know that was a lot of. I know they were really big in the 90s. I thought they kind of faded out towards.
Well, remember in the early 2000s, who do you think the Ducks had to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs? In those two?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are some, like I said, our generation of Ducks fans and Red Wings fans don't realize that how good of a rivalry the Ducks and Red Wings had in those playoffs. And now the only time we'll ever face in the playoffs is if both teams make the Stanley Cup. But
hopefully that happens sooner than later.
For us, yes.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
So let's move on to the next one. The Flames have recalled top prospect defenseman Zane Parekh from the Saginaw Spirit of the OHL. He has not played a game yet because they're still trying to fight for a playoff spot. But I think once they're eliminated, he'll probably be playing games. This guy scored, I believe, back-to-back 100-point seasons as a defenseman. From what I feel like that's what I heard. I could be maybe I got my names mixed up, or players mixed up, but I believe he was like the first defenseman in a long time to do that.
Wow.
I know they were talking about on the Jeff Merrick show earlier this week, or the sheet, I guess now. So.
Still can't get used to that name.
The sheet.
Yeah. So on to other news. Ivan Demidov has terminated his contract with SKA and will be joining the Montreal Canadiens. And the Canadiens they're going to make it, aren't they, in the playoffs?
Sure
looks like it.
I know I didn't predict that. But they're looking good, and Martin St. Louis is looking like a coach of the year candidate for sure.
Possibly.
I think if they get after at least make it through the first round, then I think he'll definitely make coach of the year.
Yeah, but it's only based off the regular season, so I don't think that's going to matter.
Well, compared to what they used to be and them making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that works in his favor.
But I'm pretty sure Carberry has it in the bag already.
Probably, yeah.
From being the last team in last year to being the best first team in the playoffs this season, and just their just domination, I can see why.
Yeah.
So, next bit of news. After a 7-year hiatus, the Ottawa Senators finally make it back into the playoffs. And to be honest, they're my dark horse team.
It's kind of funny, though. I mean, them actually making the playoffs, like, you've never really heard a whole lot about them throughout the season. Like, I mean, their biggest bit of news was, Brady Tkachuk being part of the Four Nations. Outside of that, they kind of just did it quietly. Then all of a sudden, here they are, and they're in the playoffs, and, like, who would have thought?
Well, that and them getting Ullmark, too, in the which I thought was hilarious how after they got that no, not a suspension, but the punishment for them losing one of their first round picks.
Yeah.
So I guess the NHL tells the teams, hey, if you want to make trades or sign players or whatever, or really make trades or make moves, don't do it during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like if you're going to do it during the off days or whatever, but nope. Was it David Anlauer, I believe is the owner. You know what he did? He traded for Ullmark 15 minutes before Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals last year. as a kind of a screw you kind of thing.
I don't see what the big,
don't tell me how to live my life kind of moment.
I don't see what the big problem is. I mean, if they're not involved in the Stanley Cup or in the playoff game or have something going on, who cares?
And I completely agree, Adam. The more drama, the better. But at the same time, I think the NHL just wants all the focus on the final.
True.
So, but I agree with you, Adam, 100%.
And then for the next bit of news, which was actually a pretty fun game and a heck of a highlight, the Vancouver Canucks are the first team in NHL history to overcome a 3-goal deficit in the final minute of the game and emerge victorious.
I still haven't watched that final minute.
I didn't even, until I saw this news, didn't even know that had happened because I've been so crazy busy.
It was
at work.
all over. They were talking about all over the podcast and everything. Like, God,
I legitimately watched the entire final minute and a half on Instagram. Like, that's all you need.
You're at if you have that thing, send it to me.
If you can, it to me too.
If I see it, I'll send it. Because I remember he reading it and then watching it, and then you literally watch like the entire last I think minute 15 of the third period. And then they show the overtime winner after that. So I mean, it was like a quick, it was like a 2-minute reel.
Wow. This reminds me when me and Tim used to play the NHL hockey game. My little brother, and he was beating me because his goalie was just unreal the whole game, and there was 1 or 2 minutes left. And he's like, I'm going to beat you. And then I literally score 2 or 3 goals, tie it. And I score on my first shot in overtime.
So what you're saying is that was a foreshadowing of this game?
Oh, yeah, totally. This happened 15, 20 years ago. And yep, it was definitely a foreshadow, Dad. Yep.
Yeah, he used to beat you up in the fights, though.
He was a good hockey fighter for sure. I don't know how he would spam the controller, and he'd always beat me in the fights, but I always beat him on the scoreboard.
I'm 1-0 against you, and I'm not playing you again. So I'll be undefeated.
Just keep hitting the up button. Just keep punching.
Yeah, but he was doing the uppercut and and he was just good at it.
Yeah, well.
He was good. Tim was good at those NHL game fights. I will give him that. Yeah. So, all right, Dad, you got the next one?
I do. Brock Besser has admitted he does not expect to be back with the Vancouver Canucks next season.
The Vanilla
So,
Canucks.
do we see a Southern California battle for Brock Besser?
So, here's the thing. I want the Ducks to get Besser, but he's not my top choice. I don't even know if he's my top 2 choice this offseason.
I mean, he would be top 5 for me, but yeah,
top 5.
There's better people that I would rather the Ducks go after, but in a pinch to get at least a top player, it's someone we can go after. Because I mean, are we really going to be able to pick up Marner? Who knows? We'll see how it actually goes and how the offseason plays out.
Someone put what the Ducks should do. I forgot where I saw it. Offer Marner a 1-year, $18 million, $20 million contract. Get him here for the 1 year, and then on January 1st, because that's when you can legally sign an extension with that 1-year contract, and then give him the full 8 years after.
So you're going to break the bank in 1 year, huh?
Well, I mean, because they're saying that's a way to do it.
Well, you have some emerging stars on the Ducks. Yeah. You really do, but you don't have a Marner yet. None of them are a Marner yet. That's for sure. No, and somebody like that could lead the way.
True.
They've got to do something to get over the hump because, I mean, they're pretty close to a 500 team.
Yeah.
Playing 500 hockey with all these young guys and a few veterans. So you get some more talent there. There'll be something to be reckoned with next year. One great offseason could make them a contender.
Yeah.
So I mean, they
we
do
got
have
plenty of
talent there.
off-season talk coming up, so
Yeah, well, we'll get into that later. We'll move on
Yeah.
to the next one. You
Yeah.
want that one, Cody, or is Adam going to take another one?
Cody can have it. I was actually looking through Instagram. I found the link for you guys and sent it to you. So
Yeah, I saw it. SKA is releasing defenseman Alexander Nikishin, and he's expected to sign a 2-way entry-level contract with Carolina, per the Hockey News Hub. So that he was like I want to say a second round pick, I believe. I can't remember, but he was like let's just say a top. Like I believe their top prospect, like top one or top two for them. So for him to come over, a lot of players are leaving Russia early. It makes me wonder, like, because I know his teams are always scared to take the prospects that are in Russia. Is that going to change now? Everyone's getting released or going, like, everyone thought Michkov was going to spend another year or two over there. Demidov was going to spend another year or two over there. So something's going on. So, makes me wonder if that's going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, we can make speculation, but who really knows? I mean, with everything that's going on in the political aspect, do they want to stay there? Do they want to be around so they get plucked up and have to do military service? Who knows?
True.
Are they going to get better contracts coming to the American game? Possibly.
I would think most definitely.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what the actual issue is, but yeah, there's definitely an issue there.
Yeah. All right.
So
you got the next one?
I'll try. Zeev Buium?
Yep.
Will be joining the team. And then what team is he joining, Cody? I don't.
Oh, the Minnesota Wild.
Okay. Joining the team, the Minnesota Wild, in the coming days, and will sign a 3-year entry-level contract per Bill Guerin. Well, that should have told Bill Guerin. That's news.
Yeah. Well, you know who Bill Guerin is, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Yeah. Since Denver lost in the semifinals of the Frozen Four, he will be. I believe they're saying his first game will actually be against Anaheim, and he's from Laguna Niguel, I believe. So.
Really?
Yeah, I believe that's where they said he was from. Last bit of news. Lightning top prospect forward Isaac Howard has won the 2025 Hobey Baker Award as the best men's college hockey player this season. Howard, who's 21 years old, had 26 goals through 50 and had 52 points through 37 games with Michigan State this season. He was drafted 31st overall by Tampa Bay in 2022, and he has officially said that he is actually going back for his senior year to Michigan State, which if he does not sign next season with the Tampa Bay Lightning, he will become a college UFA. Yep.
Ooh. Well, not always does Hobey Baker Awards make you an NHL superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, just doesn't always happen.
I see you thinking over there.
Well, no, I was trying to think of who the last player was that happened to, that they didn't sign their
That was
contract.
a Hobey Baker winner?
No, he wasn't a Hobey Baker winner, but I can't remember who it was who didn't sign the contract because they didn't want to go play with the team. And they got picked
for
up
which
with
team?
someone else. That's what I'm trying to. I can't remember. But they were an NCAA player, and I remember they didn't want to play with a team, and they ended up losing their contract, and then they signed with someone else they wanted to go play with, and I feel like it's a Duck.
Are you talking about God, what's his name? Justin Schultz? Was it Justin Schultz?
I can't remember.
I think because he was a Duck we drafted by the Ducks, and then he didn't tell the Ducks. I think he said he was going to sign, then never signed, then signed with the Penguins.
There was someone else that I want to say came to the Ducks as well. Process.
Cutter was kind of one, but he didn't sign. He just told Philadelphia, I don't want to play with you guys, and then he got traded. Which, okay, everyone may hate players that do that, but at least they tell the team, hey, I don't want to sign with you. And at least they give them a chance, like, okay, you're not going to sign with us, so at least we can get something back in return. The Ducks got screwed over by Justin Schultz. If it is Justin Schultz.
I have the answer to Adams. Andy McDonald in 2000.
Who did he get drafted by?
I was thinking more recent.
In 2000, Andy, who was a Hobie, he's a finalist, signed a free agent contract with the Anaheim Ducks from Colgate.
Okay, but Adam's trying to think of more recently, not.
It might be Cutter that I'm thinking of.
Because Cutter did it. There was somebody else that did it too recently. I know Henry Thrun was a Ducks draft pick, but he told Anaheim, he's like, hey, like, there's too much of a defensive pipeline, and he's like, I'm not going to sign here. So we ended up getting a 3rd round pick for Thrun or something like that, which is, for not bad for someone that we drafted in the 4th round, and we got a 3rd round pick for him. So, well, once you find that, Adam, we can talk about that more. You guys ready to move on to game recaps?
Let's do it.
All right, so
you got 4. You got 4 games. I only have 3 this week, so you can.
All right, so I'll start. I'll do. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. We'll start with the Canucks versus the Ducks. This happened last Saturday, early. I believe it was an early game. And I'm glad I did not watch this game live because I went out with friends and we went over to a friend's house and we had some drinks. If I would have saw this game, I probably would have drank a lot more. Because this was probably the ugliest first period ever that I've eventually saw. It started off really great. 1 minute and 21 seconds in, Troy Terry gets his 20th of the season. With assists from Pavel Minchikov and Frank Vetrano. And after that, it was completely downhill. At the 9:40 mark, and I'm not even going to tell you the times. I'm going to just tell you all the rest of the people that scored in the first period for the Canucks. Elias Pettersson. Nope, not that Elias Pettersson. The other one, the defenseman, gets his first career goal against the Ducks. Another check mark on that. I feel like the Ducks give up the most first career goals against them. And then Philip Hronik got his 5th of the year. Brock Besser on the power play got his 25th of the year. Connor Garland got his 19th of the year on the power play. And then Dakota Joshua got his 6th of the year. And that was all in the first period, by the way. So it was 5-1 after 1.
Yeah, Mom's phone or watch kept going. We were out.
Yeah. Mom texted me too. She's like, "Are you watching this game?" I'm like,
she goes,
"Nope. I blocked all the notifications after the 4th goal."
I know. She goes, "Oh, good. Ducks are up 1-0. Oh, it's 1-1. Oh, it's 2-1. Oh, it's 3-1." I'm going like, what? And it just kept going.
Yeah, all those goals happened within from the 9:40 mark to the 14:10 mark. Yeah, I'll let you guys do the math on that. Listeners, you can do the math on that. Yeah, 5 goals in that much time.
Yeah, 5 goals in 5 minutes. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
And it was funny, too, because I remember I was like, well, who is in net? And I was like, that can't be Dostal. And, of course, I turn on the game, and Dostal's in net. And I was like, well, I'm turning that back off.
Yeah. So, but
it's not always the goalie's fault.
It definitely was not his. Actually, I think one maybe. There was one which game was it? Am I thinking of? I can't remember. He did give up a really soft goal on one of the games. Oh, I think it was a San Jose game, but I think that was the week before. But in the second period, Trevor Zegras got the lone goal in the second to get his 11th of the year, 7-11. But his 11th goal of the year, Gudis and McTavish with the assist, and that made it 5-2. And then Max Sasson with the lone goal in the third period, he got his 3rd of the year unassisted. 3 starts of the game. Of course, no Ducks in sight. Elias Pettersson, not the one we're all thinking of. It's the defenseman. He had the 1 goal. Sasson had the 1 goal as the second star. and Mr. Quinn Hughes was the number one star with 2 assists. Shots on goal. You wouldn't think the Ducks have the most shots on goal in this game, but they did have the most shots on goal. 32-26. Yeah.
They're actually starting to shoot a lot more, which it seems like that the coaches are just kind of letting the boys play, because it seems like a lot of the younger kids are getting more involved and they're starting to have better games. And it seems like because the kids are getting the chance to play, that, there's more shots on goal that are happening. Because there's a lot of the times that how many games do we have this season where we had under 20 shots? Hell, there's games that we had under 15 shots. But it just seems like that they've kind of they're like, you know what, let's let the kids, have their moment. Seems like there's a lot more scoring chances plus shots on goal at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, you can only score if you shoot, right? You can only score if you shoot. If you're not shooting the puck, you can't score.
Every time I hear the quote, the Wayne Gretzky quote, it doesn't remind me of Wayne Gretzky. It reminds me of The Office. You're gonna miss 100% of the time, 100% of the shots you don't take. Then he puts Wayne Gretzky, and then under that he puts Michael Scott.
Of course he
Didn't
does.
he put it on his wall?
Yeah, the
whiteboard.
Well,
sorry. Every time I hear that, that's what I always think. I always think of The Office with that.
And not Wayne Gretzky. Is that it, Cody, on your game?
We did win the faceoff percentage, 56-44. Both the Ducks were horrible on the special teams. 0 for 2 on the power play and 0 for 2 on the penalty kill. Yeah, they gave up both power play chances for them. And we got our friendly reminder from the network, Frankie. We're not your Yankee boys, Frankie. You know we're Angels fans. He's trying to convert us into being Yankee fans.
Although we do like zebras. We do like zebras.
I hear every episode you guys always talking about it, and Frankie can go shove it because at least my Dodgers are on top right now.
Oh boy. We're gonna have a network fight going on here now. It's gonna be a brawl.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for Frankie's comment. But
it's not my problem that his team gave up 5 runs to lose. What was the World Series?
Yeah, they really dropped the ball on that one.
A couple of times.
Here's Frankie. Half your team. Last thing on this game is this ends the season series against Vancouver, and we lost the season series 3-1. What a shock. So on to your first game, Dad.
Actually, on a side note real quick, Adam Fox was the last player to not sign his.
I was thinking that, but I thought you were thinking more recent.
Because I was looking it up, and I thought it was more recent too, but it was probably Cutter that I was thinking of. But yeah, Adam Fox was a 3rd-round pick with Calgary that he's like, nope, not signing. And then there he is.
Okay.
Because he was with New York, right?
Yeah, Rangers.
Yeah, he's with New York. Yeah, the Rangers. Yeah, okay. I was thinking Adam Fox, but you were saying it was more recent, so that's why I didn't want to say it. I was thinking Adam Fox, so I swear.
Well, like I said, I think I was thinking of the Cutter situation, but yeah, it prompted me to look it up, and Adam Fox was the biggest notable one that's recent. That was 2016.
That's a great pickup by the Rangers.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 defenseman. So, we played the most hated ones for us, the Edmonton Oilers, last Saturday, and played them at home. Of course, they were without Draisaitl and McDavid.
They were without half their team.
Yeah, the first period there was no scoring in this game, and they played a decent game in that first period. But we come to the second period, Kevin Fiala, whose first half of the season pretty much sucked, has really started to pick it up. He scored his 30th from Laferriere, his 20th, and Spence his 22nd to put the Kings up 1-0 at the 9:20 mark. Then the great trade deadline pickup, Andrei Kuzmenko, who has been probably the hottest King in the last 2 or 3 weeks. He scores his 11th from Kuemper, his 31st, and Doughty his 13th to put the Kings up 2-0 after 2 periods. Then we go to the third, and in the third period, oops, I shot too far on that one. Trevor Lewis.
I thought you were literally talking about the game. Oh, they shot a little too far.
Yeah, well, Trevor Lewis, if he scores against you, it's really you're playing. He gets an empty netter.
I was going to say, it's an empty netter. Okay.
Yeah, so at the 17:03 mark, it was a 3-0 game. I mean, the Kings shut him out. I mean, like I said earlier, with the Darcy Kuemper's been on fire. I mean, we did outshoot him 29-27. We won the faceoffs 52-48. We were both 0-4 on the power plays. We were 0-4. They were only 0-1. Hits were 23-17 in favor of the Kings. Block shots 12 for Edmonton, 11 for the Kings. And let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Andrei Kuzmenko was the 3rd star with a goal. Fiala was the 2nd star with a goal. And, of course, the number 1 star was, I think he should be a Vezina finalist. He won't win it, but I think he should be in the finals. Darcy Kuemper with a shutout.
Oh, I think he's top 4, top 3 in the Vezina.
I think he should be there.
Actually,
the only one that has better stats
4.
than him, only one that has better stats than him other than wins is Hellebuck.
I think right now it's for me. It's Vazzy, or no, sorry, Hellenbuck, Vazzy, Thompson, Kuemper. But still, top 4, and you have all. Shesterkin's not in there. Sorokin's not in there. Poor Sorokin, but
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky, yeah. Ottinger, Swayman, and Kemper's top 4 for sure.
Yeah, well, his goals against average is better than those other guys, except for Hellebuck, and his save percentage was higher.
Yeah.
Well, it's the last time I looked. And after having a shutout, I would think, is 15 straight games with 2 or less goals? Man, that's incredible.
That is good.
That's a great run. On to your next game, Cody.
All right, so the Ducks come back home. Are they home? Yeah, they come back home and play against the Edmonton Oilers. And you still no Draisaitl, still no McJesus, no Matthias Ekholm. I forgot who else was out for this one for them. But former Duck, Adam Henrique, scores the first goal of the game at the 17:51 mark on a tip-in shot, which really just literally hit his skate and went in. So that's why he got the goal. So it was 1-0 after 1. And after that, it was, in the second period, it was the Cutter and Leo show. The first goal was just plain gorgeous. Great play to get into the offensive zone. They have a shot or two, then kicks out. One of the defensive players tries to sweep it out. Leo stops it with the skate, comes up, dishes it across the ice to Cutter, who one-times it in, right past making his first NHL start, too, was Olivier Rodrigue, I believe is how you say his name, Oliver Rodrigue. But yeah, Cutter scores on the one-timer, ties it up 1-1.
It's a weird one. It's like Olivier Rodrigue.
Yeah, Rodrigue. I think it's just Rodrigue.
Yeah, because I know it says Rodriguez, but like the last couple of letters are.
Does it say Rodriguez?
I thought so.
I thought there was no. I thought just end with the E, so that's what.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and then Cutter Gauthier shows why the Ducks picked him up. He speeds across on the left, shows his speed. Like he just zoomed right past, I believe it was Evan Bouchard, and it comes in and gets really close to the goalie and just backhands it up, bar down, and takes the lead 2-1 at the 7:10 mark. Then after that, it was the second period. Ducks are winning 2-1 going into the third, and then Mason McTavish gets his 21st of the season. I believe now he's either leading the team or tied with the team with 21 goals. Mason McTavish is just having a hell of a second half, but he gets a breakaway and just puts it past Rodrigo again. And Ducks take a 3-1 lead, and then Jeff Skinner gets his 16th of the year on a tip-in shot, and that is your final 3-2. Here are the stats. The Ducks got completely outshot this game. Lukas Dostal, even though after giving up 6 goals the game before, comes back and stops 45 shots on 47 attempts. 45 saves on 47 shots. Ducks only had 21 shots. Faceoff percentage, 56-44. The Oilers were 0 for 6 on the power play. The Ducks were 0 for 2, so both penalties, power plays were just horrible for each team. Of course, when you don't have McDavid or Draisaitl, that's going to happen. Penalty minutes. The Ducks had 28 penalty minutes this game. 28. I believe this is the game that Strome had a game misconduct. And after that, the 3 stars of the game, Mason McTavish with the 1 goal is the number 3 star. Lukas Dostal was the number 2 star. And with the 2 goals, Cutter Gauthier is your number 1 star. And that is it for this game.
All right, so we're going to play the Kraken at home. 1 minute and 48 seconds into the first period. Some people are calling it the goal of the year. Have you guys seen this goal?
Yeah.
Have you seen the goal, Adam? From Byfield? He's literally got one hand. And I think he's left-handed. It might have been his right hand because he was opened up to Burroughs, who had kind of made a shot. He hits it with one hand, knocks it down, spins over, and beats the cord with one hand. What?
It was his right hand.
Yeah.
And he is left-handed.
So he's left-handed with a right hand and shovels it in past the cord, the cord was the player of this game. I want to tell you. It was all one-handed while being mugged by somebody in front of the net. It was the only good thing that happened in this game for the Kings.
Well, a lot of people were talking about it, how they're saying Byfield should have also got a penalty for holding Shane Wright's stick. But then again, Shane Wright was holding Quinton Byfield. So I would say let it go. They let it go because I was like,
they let it go.
Both of them were, both of them were
they were both
penalties.
battling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you look,
It's kind of.
It was. And even because I was listening to it on the radio, and it wasn't even Nick Nixon because he just does TV now. It was the new guy that's probably going to take over for him, I think. And he said, and Daryl Evans even talked about it. He goes, man, I've never seen that before. And he goes, well, Byfield was holding his stick.
I don't know if you guys can see. He's literally holding 2 sticks. Byfield.
Yes. Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's holding it. What hit? That was pretty. Anyways.
I'm just look, 2 sticks. He's literally I guess his new name is Darth Maul.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, anyways, he scored that to put him up 1-0. It didn't take long, in the first period, Manny Beniers scores his 19th to tie the game. And this has all happened in the last 2 minutes. Brandon Montour, ex-Duck.
I was like, what French guy's name were you trying to say?
I don't know.
Brendan Montour.
Montour got a 17th to put it 2-1 after the first period. And basically, it was a battle the rest of the game and no other scoring. So I don't even have to go into the second and third periods. The stats, shots were close, 29-28 Kings. Kings won the faceoff 55-45, but they were 0 for 3 on the power play, and they had a 5-on-3 just before Benier scored, and they did nothing with it. And the momentum changed for the rest of the game back to Seattle. Anyways, the Kings were 0 for 3. Seattle was 0 for 1 on the power play. Hits 24-18 for the Kraken. Block shots 30 for the Kraken, 10 for the Kings. Right there, that's where the game was won. Let's go to the 3 stars. I don't agree with this. They have Joey Decord as the 3rd star, Byfield as the 2nd star, and Montour as the 1st star. Decord was the 1st star of this game. He was playing Vezina worthy play in this game. He was incredible. So
you guys are losing the season series to Seattle, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we
2
play
games
him
to
again.
1.
Yeah, well, we got him again. We got him again next week, and we're going to beat him.
Yeah.
Of course, we beat Winnipeg 3-0. Most of the great teams we're beating all the good teams, the top playoff teams, but we're not beating some of the lower teams. I mean, we split with the Sharks. I mean, come on now. We have a special guest behind Adam.
She's just running through.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to your next game, Cody.
I forgot to mention this after the Edmonton Oilers Ducks game. The Ducks won the season series over the Edmonton Oilers, 3-1. Yep. We won 5-3, lost 3-2, won 6-2, and then 3-2 again. So it was a great series win for the Anaheim Ducks. But all right, this is probably like the one bright side of, I would say, of the week. There was no scoring in the first period for the Anaheim Ducks or Calgary. Yeah, the Calgary game. In the second period, Michael Backlund gets his 12th of the season on a tip-in shot to get the scoring started. And that was the only scoring play we had within the first 2 periods. After that, in the third period, Trevor Zegras ties the game with his 12th goal of the season with assist from Oliver Zillington. Was it Zillington? I know it's not Killington. It's Zillington. He scores on the snapshot right past Dustin Wolf. So now we're tied 1-1. Then Igor Serengovich at the 13:44 mark gets his 14th of the year to take the lead 2-1. Then Matt Coronado gets another goal 2 minutes later. Now it's 3-1 Anaheim. Things are not looking good for the Ducks. Everything's just falling apart. But then Frank the Tank Petrano gets his 21st of the season. Assist from Zellweger and Strome to make it 3-2 Calgary at the 6:03 mark. And then it's the Cutter Gauthier show after this. He gets his 18th of the season. That's right. You heard that right. The 18th of the season. Right off the face-off, Lacombe shoots it over to Killorn. Killorn gives it to Carlson. Carlson shoots it over back to Gauthier, and he puts it right past Wolf. So now we're tied 3-3, and this happened at the 6:11 mark. Now we're going to go into overtime. And that's right. Calgary's not happy about this. That they had a 3-1 lead. They let 2 goals happen late. So now they need to win in overtime to stay in their playoff hunt. But Cutter Gauthier has other plans. Ville Husso was great in this game, but Leo Carlson gets the puck from Husso, and he shows his speed and goes right down the right flank, shoots it over shoots it over to Gauthier, and he puts it past Dustin Wolf as the OT winner. That's right. Coder Gauthier gets 2 goals in 2 straight games. Yeah, that's his 19th of the season, with Carlson getting the assist. So the Ducks win this game 4-3 in overtime.
It was such a nice pass too. I mean, just
It
the
was
whole play.
such a nice.
I mean, watching Carlson take off up the boards. I mean,
that speed that he went right past the defender on that one.
I mean, it almost looked like Connor McDavid, blowing past people, and
Yeah,
he just took off up the boards and entered the zone, and then he's like, "Oh, look at this!" and just right across the ice to Cutter, and perfect tape to tape pass, and Cutter buried it. I mean, it was just overall a beautiful play, and
it really
surprisingly, like you were saying, like I was rather impressed with Husso. Like I was not expecting that kind of game from him. I mean,
I'm just happy
looking good.
I'm just happy he finally got rid of the Red Wings gear.
Oh my God. It's still ugly, but at least it's not red and white.
Yeah, but so he officially has his Anaheim Ducks gear. So let me close my window real quick, because others are just going to hear this whole time. All right. Whoop. All right. So the shots on goal, the Ducks get outshot this game 39-23. Where's my mouse? There it is. All right. Lose in the face-off circle 56-44. I believe this was the game that really pissed me off with the refs. I wish I could have the screenshot of the play, but one of the Flames players literally high-sticked Radko Gudas right in the face, and they're saying it was a follow-through. Blood. It should have been a 2-minute minor. Actually, no, sorry, a double minor. And no, they reviewed the play and they realized, oh, it was on a follow-through. But the rule is, and I believe it was Kyle Carr from the Locked On Ducks, who we had on last week. He was the one that said, yes, that is true on a follow-through, but it has to be a shot on goal. And if you notice that, if you look back at the play, the player had his back to the goal, and his shot wasn't even on goal. So
wasn't he trying to make a pass to his defenseman at the line?
Yeah, exactly. It has to be a shot on goal for that to be not a penalty. So we missed out on a double minor on this. The refs were horrible this game. I'm telling you, horrible. The Ducks got 1 power play chance to Calgary's 6 power play chances. Luckily, Calgary didn't score on any of those power play chances, but again, the Ducks don't score on the power play, so we were 0 for 1. But yeah, I'm just saying the referees were horrible this game. Like Frank Vetrano got hooked on one play. They were just missing plays left and right on this. But the season series, Calgary won the season series this year, 3-1. But I'm just glad we didn't get swept. Yeah. I was happy about that. So, 3 stars of the game. Coronado was the number 3 star. Frank the Tank was the number 2 star. And of course, who else? Carter Gauthier with the 2 goals and the game winner was the number 1 star. And now we're gonna. You want to move on to game predictions next?
We got a game to do, guys.
I tried.
You did.
I tried.
You failed.
I'm gonna go ahead and just take off now.
All right. Well, Adam, let us know. I'm just I really don't want to talk about this game.
I was so glad I was at work.
Okay. One game. It happens to every team. Sometimes, I mean, this would have been more expected for the Kings to win this game like this than the Ducks would, but it's been reversed in other times. So you don't want to really talk about it at all? We'll just go
Cutter Gauthier got his 20th of the season in the second period. Assist from Leo Carlson and Alex Killorn. It was nice seeing you guys. We'll see you next week. All right. We'll see you guys next week on Royally Quacked.
Well, another hot King scored the first goal of the game on the power play, Quentin Byfield. So, I mean, we can go through it quick. I don't want you guys to be in pain.
I've been in pain.
I've been in pain since 2017.
What he said. What exactly? He said right here. I'm trying to right here.
Right. You guys are killing me. Well, basically, when Cody talked about Cutter, that was in the second period. So it was 1-0 after one. Cutter tied the game up. Then Kopitar, Fiala, and Laferriere scored goals in the second period to put the Kings up 4-1. And then
where's that rope to hang myself? I misplaced it somewhere.
Oh, I just ordered it from Amazon. It'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
So you don't feel the executioner's axe?
Fiala and Spence scored to finalize the scoring to make it a 6-1 game.
Gr8ness was horrible in this game. That's all I'm going to say.
So the shots on goal were pretty even. It was 29 Kings, 25 Ducks. Faceoff 58-42. The Kings were 3 for 6 on the power play. Thanks for making our power play look good, Ducks. We really did appreciate it.
Oh, you didn't know this? We make everyone's power play look good, and we make everyone's penalty kill look like it's number 1 in the league. You didn't know that?
Well, ours is in the top 6 or 7, I think. So they were 0 for 4 on the power play.
But it looked like we were starting to turn around because, we had, 2 games there that we killed off 6 penalties apiece. We had the penalty kill was starting to look better until this game.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the whole thing is the penalties. You can't keep doing 6 penalties a game. It's going to come back and haunt you. And I don't care who you are. It's going to haunt you. And it ends up haunting the Ducks. But both teams have been guilty of too many penalties this season. Even with the Kings, they're in a playoff spot. They put themselves in a predicament with these penalties. They got to have better control of themselves, and you can't keep putting teams on the power play. I'll just go through the 3 stars of the game because you don't even see a Duck, not even might be in the top 10 in this game. Kuzmenko was the 3rd star with 3 assists. 3 assists was the 3rd star. Kuemper with 3 assists was the 2nd star, and Fiala was the number 1 star with 2 goals. Okay, the pain's over, guys.
So there is one thing I do want to talk about this game. There was one goal. I said the Ducks were going to lose this game no matter if this goal happened or not. But the Laferriere goal should have never happened. I'm telling you, never should have happened. I'm trying to pull it up right here. Give me a sec.
Is that the high stick one?
The high stick one.
Okay. It happened to us against Toronto the week before.
I don't care.
And it was even more blatant.
I don't care. No.
I haven't seen this one. I was watching that Toronto game. It was a blatant high stick. You could see the puck move after the stick hit it. Everything.
Oh, you're going to see right. All right. You're telling me that's not above his freaking shoulder? His whole blade is above his shoulder. The rule is it's where the puck it is where the puck hits the stick.
No, I understand it, Cody, completely.
No, I'm letting our listeners know.
I think that is. But I want to tell you, the week before, the Matthews one, it was even higher up than that, and they let it go.
Yeah.
So,
but that doesn't count. That wasn't against the Ducks.
Well, to play devil's advocate, play out the scene real quick. Go ahead and hit that play button.
Before or after?
From right where we're at.
Play?
Yeah, just go ahead and play it from there. See, now the fact that right there, you can stop it. because say if he touches the puck as a high stick, if one of the Ducks touch it after that, then it's fair play. But since he knocked it down to himself and then continued the play, yeah, that should have absolutely been a high stick. And then you even have a referee, 40 feet
Looking
away.
right
that
at it
should
right
have seen
there.
that.
You mean the guy over here? Wait, over here?
Yeah.
Looking right at it? I'm sorry, but that this wasn't the worst part of the game either. Like the loss, the high stick goal, I could handle. But and I know who's gonna agree with me on this is every fan that had to listen to this game on the ESPN broadcast. I do not. I think from now on, I'm just gonna mute it. The commentator was horrible during this game.
I usually try to watch everything on Victory Plus now because ESPN is so bad.
But I mean, you couldn't watch it on Victory Plus because it was an ESPN Plus game.
Yeah.
So there was that one part, I want to say during the second period, where the person who I don't want to say who it was, everyone who listened to this game, who actually listens to our podcast, if you do, thank you. But would 100% agree. This one person, I'm not going to say who it was completely horrible. They called Minchikov Minionkov.
It was
Minionkov. Like from Despicable Me, like be banana, those, those ones. Yeah, his name is Minchikov, not Minionkov.
Well, to fire some shots off, it's like having Gary call the game.
Oh, thank you.
But at least that's more entertaining. Like at least my dad would do it with emotion. The person was like, "Oh yeah, Minchikov got the puck. Oh look, oh yeah, he passed it to Zegras. Oh, he scored. Yay! Look at we're at the face-off again."
It was such a boring commentary game.
The other person was at least
glad
had
I missed
some
it.
emotion. Yeah, lucky
Oh,
you.
yeah, it was so
I
bad.
rather have the rope to hang myself for that than the Ducks getting completely spanked in this game. Like it is funny because on the Royally Quacked Facebook account, I'm on a bunch of the Kings and Ducks Facebook groups, and all I see on my feed yesterday morning was how bad. Not hey, yeah, we beat you, or oh, we lost to those darn Kings again. No, it was how bad the commentary was from both sides. We're complaining how bad it was.
Even in one of the rain groups that I'm in, like they were complaining about it. They're like,
"Yeah,
what was the point of watching this game?" Like,
so it was. Nobody was really like, "Yeah, we beat you." Freeway from no. It was wow. That person was horrible. The person was like the Clear Eyes commercial guy.
well, it's like the girl that was doing it, I thought was better than the guy. Like the guy was.
The girl was horrible. She was the worst one. He had emotion. I didn't want to say who it was. I didn't want to sound like sexist, but everyone was saying it on Facebook.
I don't know. I mean, I only watched the first period, so that's all I heard. It seemed like the girl was better in the first period, but it sounds like she got worse throughout the game.
Yes.
Well, let's move on.
No.
You got your rant on that.
All right, player of the week.
Through episode 56, Cody, you went 2-2 last week, and you are at 500 still at 35 and 35. And I went 2-1 because I obviously didn't predict the Kraken to beat us. And I am 40 and 30 going into what?
I have a chance with 3 games left.
Well, you called yourself out last week.
I know. I'm bad.
Just stay at 500 or above.
Yeah.
You stay at 500. You've done a good job, I think. So, yeah. But anyways, and we want to go into predictions right now.
I mean, player of the week.
Oh, player of the week. Yeah, sure.
For once, I actually put my player on there. You didn't.
I know. I was shocked.
I know. I'm shocked I even did it. But all right, Adam, who's your player of the week for the Ducks?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as you, Cody, but it's got to be Cutter. I mean, Cutter is just turned his game to a different
Oh,
level.
I
And
can't see it. Darn it! There it is. Cutter Godey's autograph.
nice. But yeah, it's
Here's
just
proof.
like I said. I mean, them actually letting the boys play, like the boys are picking up their game. They're starting to show like the brilliance that of the future that we have coming up. And yeah, Coder just turned it on a different level. It just seems like he's got his head on his shoulders right. He's picking up the play. His hockey sense is really good. So yeah, Cutter's definitely my guy of the week.
No, agreed. He was definitely my player of the week as well. The Leo Cutter connection is giving me really like Getzlaf, Perry, Solani, Korea vibes right now.
I was going to say Solani, Korea.
Yeah.
You do Solani, Korea. You're talking elite.
Well, that was probably that was. I would take Solani, Korea over Getzlaf and Perry in a heartbeat.
If you actually watch the games, Gary, you would see that they have some really good chemistry going right now.
Oh no, Adam, believe it or not, I've been driving a lot, and we've been really shorthanded at work. I'll listen to the Duck games on Victory Plus, or actually, I don't do that because if you go to their Duck stream, like on the internet, it is terrible. But you go onto the NHL app and listen through the Duck stream on that, it works perfectly. So anybody, if you're having trouble listening to the Duck game, going just straight to Duck stream off the internet, go through the NHL app, get to the game. It shows you can listen to it, hit it.
And if it's
it comes game, in perfect.
If it's an ESPN game, just don't listen to it.
Just skip.
Skip.
I mean, and Steve Carroll does a great job. I mean, Emerson Edom needs to cut out the caffeine or the whatever hyper crap he's on because he talks way too fast.
Oh.
I miss Dan Wood, to be honest with you. He was slow and steady, because Carroll belts it out really well. I think he calls a great game, personally. Emerson Edom is really, I just don't like it. I'd rather have Dan Wood back or somebody new.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but Edom's commentary career is as bad as his NHL career.
Oh, you heard it here first on Royally Quacked.
Yes, I'm sorry, but it's just
that's
I love hockey.
That's the Instagram reel right there.
There you go. Sorry, I know I brought it up last week too. I mean, he just bugs the crap out of me.
The thing is, neither of you are wrong, because everyone's noticed. I've definitely noticed. They start talking, and then there's like a power play. Then he tries to say like 1,000 words within like
holy
10
guacamole power play.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And I go, what did he say?
Well,
holy guacamole, that was fast.
Here in Southern California, where we got spoiled. We had obviously the great Vince Scully. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Chick Hearn. No, the one from the Kings.
Bob Miller.
Like
Nick Nixon.
But even with going back to the Dodgers, we had Jaime Jarrín that did the Spanish broadcast. We've gotten so spoiled here in Southern California over the years that now you're getting these new guys in there. No, can we figure something else out and let's bring in AI.
So you want to hear a funny thing about Bob Miller? My father-in-law, on one of his days off from when he was a fireman, he was going to go golf in LA, and he went as a single, and they're like, well, there's a three group out there if you want to join them. Bob Miller was one, Barry Melrose was the other, and the other one was Fernando Valenzuela.
Oh, geez.
So my father-in-law got to play golf, but because my father-in-law was like, oh yeah, he's like Bob Miller, and he's like, I think I golfed with him, and I showed him a picture, and I was like, he's like, yeah, and then he's like, the other guy was like the coach, and I'm like, when was this? He's like, oh, it was before you were born, and I was like, was it like 92, 93? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, was the guy's coach Barry Melrose? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to play golf with Bob Miller and Barry Melrose and Fernando Valenzuela. Because they were we were watching the Dodger game and they were doing the tribute for him. So, and then he brought that up. I was like, What the hell, lucky bastard!
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
I can't golf, so they would have.
Well, I
just
can,
kicked
but
me to
it's terrible.
I can't. I'll admit, I'm gonna shank it,
Well,
which
yeah,
I'll hit
of
it
course.
backwards. Probably how bad I am, but yeah. But let's get back on track here. But Cutter Goody
Predictions?
was both of our. Well, who was your player of the week?
Oh, I didn't even say, did I?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go to predictions then. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my new dad, Adrian Kuemper, with 4 assists.
Wait,
With
your new dad. You got to say that
No.
way better.
the new dad,
The
Adrian
new dad.
Kuemper. Yes. Don't know the name of the baby yet, but Adrian Kuemper was and he missed the third period, which could have made a difference in that Seattle game. But then again, what comes first? Family comes first.
I kind of give him credit for actually playing in the game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if his wife was in labor already. So, yeah, I mean, even if that would have cost him a playoff game, I would have been gone.
Yeah.
You want to see your kids born.
I was gonna say something like because Kempe's nickname is Juice, and I was gonna say something, but I was like, what I was gonna say would have sounded really bad.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it. So
maybe better off unsaid, Cody.
yeah. So let's move on to, as my dad's tried to do 10 times now. Let's move on to predictions.
Text me. I want to know.
All right, I'll text it to you. It's bad.
Okay, so I'll do predictions first since you're texting. Yeah. Today the Kings are playing at home against the Colorado Avalanche, and I got to tell you, I know that Nathan McKinnon's out because he's on my fantasy team, and he was out Thursday, along with like 3 or 4 other players, which put me behind in the championship game. So I'm not sure I'm going to win or not, but hey, I'm competing. But I have the Kings beating Colorado today 4-3. Then on Monday, they play the dreaded Edmonton Oilers, and I know Connor's back, but I'm not sure Draisaitl's back. The way the Kings have been playing, I think they're going to beat Edmonton again and another 4-3 score. Then and that's in Edmonton, by the way, on Monday. And then Tuesday, they're back to back, going from Edmonton to Seattle. Oh, that's maybe I should rethink this a little bit, but I'm not. I'm going to just go with my original prediction. We're going to play Seattle, and
I thought that one too, Adam. I thought that one too. Sorry, continue. Sorry.
Is there a whole other thing going on here?
Kind of.
Well, I'll tell you after we're done.
We'll inform you after the recording.
Okay. It's probably not appropriate for the.
Oh, no. Definitely no.
Okay.
Mom would be very mad.
Yes.
Mine was worse.
But laughing mad. Laughing mad.
Cody's yours wasn't terrible. Mine was.
Okay.
I thought of that one too. So, okay.
Okay.
Continue.
Back to predictions, boys. Get back on track. Get your minds out of the gutter.
Never.
Kings are going to beat Seattle in Seattle 3-2. And then Thursday against Calgary at home, we're going to beat the Flames 3-2. So I have the Kings going 4-0 this week. On to your predictions, Cody.
All right. So for my predictions, I have the Ducks losing every game the rest of the season. Well, because look who they have to play. They play tomorrow against Colorado. I'm predicting a 5-1 loss because we tend to never play good against Colorado. On Tuesday, and the one thing I hate about the Sunday. Why is it at 7:00 on a Sunday? I hate that, and it's a home game. Usually they start like 4 or 5 o'clock, but no, it starts at 7:00 on a Sunday. I don't get that. Tuesday, and I like that the games start early because I actually get to watch the full game before I have to go to bed. So the Ducks are in Minnesota. I have them losing 3-2 in Minnesota. And then they finish on a back-to-back in Winnipeg, and I have them losing that game as well, 4-2. And I have a prediction this is if Connor Hellenbuck plays majority of the games, he will either tie or break the wins record in a single season with that game.
Ooh.
I don't know how many games left he has. That's the thing.
I can tell you why the game's probably at 7:00 on Sunday, because they're playing at 1:00 today in LA. They're doing a back-to-back, so to give them a little bit of more time of recovery,
they could have
probably
done
get
it.
a later game.
You mean all the drive all the way from LA to Anaheim?
No, it's usually like a TV scheduling. The broadcast schedule is usually why they'll do like the later games like that.
Anyways,
I'm checking out the Jets schedule.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull that up.
Because he has 45 wins right now, and they have 3 games left. So if he plays every game and wins every game, which they play today against Chicago, there's a back-to-back. So he's probably not going to do it. So never mind. So
well, who's there back-to-back?
They have Chicago on Saturday, which is today, and then tomorrow they're home against Edmonton. So they're away at Chicago, home against Edmonton, back-to-back, and then they play Wednesday against the Ducks for the last one.
I mean, it's possible for him to play in both games. I don't foresee it happening, but
I don't think, especially this late in the season. I mean, I
was gonna say I could see him not playing today and then playing tomorrow.
Yeah. But he needs the 3 wins. He has 42 wins or 45 wins, and the record is 48 wins. So he'd have to play all 3 games. So, all right, playoff standings. Let's see. Since we had a lot more teams out now, so let's go to the Eastern Atlantic Division. Florida Panthers are number 1 as of right. Actually, no, this isn't right, is it? No,
I have Florida as 3.
What the hell is going on?
So right now, that's the wild card.
The hell?
Oh, no. So I have Toronto ranked as number 1, Tampa Bay ranked as number 2, Florida is number 3.
Oh, okay. That was because it said they had 72 games played. I'm like, no, that's not right. I got to change that on the notes.
That's the link you sent.
Yeah, it's an old link. I thought it would update with it, so I guess not.
No, because every time I clicked on a game link, it would bring me up to the current day and not the actual game.
The one I sent you?
Yeah, in the notes. Like every time we would try to pull up the game links, it brings me to the current day and not the actual game.
Yeah, no, it was throwing me off. I thought Toronto was number 1.
Yeah.
And I go, Florida's number 1 and Tampa Bay's number 3.
So on this one, if this is the right one, Toronto is number 1 with 100 points, and they have played 78 games. Tampa Bay is number 2 with 79 games played with 98 points. And then Florida is number 3 with 79 games played at 96 points. So Toronto, let's see. If you're Toronto, would you rather play? I'd rather see the Ottawa-Toronto series and then the Florida series. So you got the Ontario series and then the Florida series. And we already got one series that's already confirmed in the Metro, the Carolina, New Jersey. But if I was Toronto, do you want to play one of the Florida teams or do you want to play the Senators?
Well, I mean, it might be smarter to play them first.
Ottawa?
Because you have Florida, because you might have a better chance to knock them out quickly. Because say if Florida ends up playing Ottawa, then Florida has a chance to basically get their momentum going, and now they take heavy momentum going into the second round. So it might be smarter to play Tampa Bay or Florida in the first round, knock them out, and then maybe have a little bit of an easier matchup against Ottawa in the second round.
Yeah,
If that's how it works.
I just like to see the rivalry. So the Ontario rivalry and then the Florida rivalry in the first round. That'd be a great.
I just want to
series
see Canada knocked out again.
Well, if you think about it, if Toronto and Ottawa play, you're knocking out one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Well, right now isn't Ottawa would have to play Toronto, right?
Yeah, the Ontario series. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Battle of Ontario. And then in the Metro, you have the Washington Capitals as the number 1 seed in the Metro. They have 78 games played with 109 points. And then here's the confirmed playoff matchup: Carolina and New Jersey. Carolina's number 2, New Jersey's number 3. They're for sure playing against each other. That's the only one as of right now that is confirmed.
I don't like the new playoff setup.
I hate it too.
I want to go back to 1 through 8.
So we can do that. We can do that after we go over the rest and see who would actually match up against who. But so the wild card, I think it looks like it's going to be Ottawa and Montreal as the 2 wild card teams in the East. Columbus is 6 points away. New York is 6 points away, and so is the Red Wings. And then the Islanders, yeah, they're the Islanders.
I mean, I would love Montreal to flop on their face and let Columbus in.
I would love that too, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Me either. Unfortunately, we'd all like to see that actually happen, but it probably won't.
So in the West, Winnipeg and the Central, they have 112 points with 79 games played. I think if they win tonight, I think they get the number 1 in the West. Dallas is right now second in the Central, 106 points with 79 games played. And then Colorado with 100 points with 80 games played. So they only have 2 games left. So it looks like it's probably going to be Dallas and Colorado. And then in the Pacific, the Knights are number 1 with 105 points with 79 games played. The Kings have 99 points with 78 games played, and Edmonton Oilers have 97 points with 79 games played. So it looks like we're getting round 512 of Kings and Edmonton in the first round.
Yep, looks that way.
And I think this may be the year, and I'm about to eat crow.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. But as of right now, it looks like Vegas will be going against Minnesota, and then Winnipeg gets St. Louis. But that can change because
they have exactly the same records, though.
Exactly the same records. So I'm surprised it doesn't go down to goal differential. Because look at the goal differential between the two. Minnesota is -13, and St. Louis is +13 or 17. Sorry. But they do. I think they both play today. Calgary is the only team left in the West that has a chance, but I think the Ducks kind of ruined their chances. Calgary has 90 points with 79 games played, but I believe if both these teams win or Calgary loses, they're done.
Yeah, so, Calgary has to win out their last 3 games.
Yeah.
They give them a chance.
Mm-hmm. But St. Louis or Minnesota have to lose out as well. So, so let's do if we had 1 through 8. So we'll start in the East. 1 through 8, we'd still get the same matchup: Montreal, Washington. But here's where it gets interesting: Toronto and New Jersey, and then Tampa Bay versus Ottawa, and then Carolina and Florida.
Ooh.
I think that Carolina-Florida matchup would probably be the best one of the first round.
I think Tampa Bay and Ottawa would be a good one too. But in the West, you would have the Jets in St. Louis, Dallas and Minnesota, Vegas and Edmonton, and Kings and Avalanche.
Ooh.
I'm looking at the Vegas Edmonton one, probably being the best one out of that one.
It'd be better if it was Vegas and Minnesota going against each other.
Yeah, I know they have bad blood against each other.
Well, plus you got Fleury, coming back to.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but that's if he's not playing. It's going to be Gustafsson playing.
Oh yeah,
no doubt about that.
So it would be a lot different if we went 1 through 8. So, and then the last thing we got to talk about is probably the thing that biggest thing that happened in the last week all around is the great race for Gretzky is over, and it happened pretty quickly last week. Ovechkin in the second period against the New York Islanders on the power play from his office got the record-breaking goal and put it against who would have been one of the guys that also received one of the beers, which I'll talk about that also. He took away Ilya Sorokin went 4 or 5 games against Ovechkin and never gave up a goal, but he gave up the record-breaking goal to Ovechkin. So he put it past his nationality teammate. He's now the number 1 goal scorer of all time. What do you guys think about that now?
I mean, good for him. I mean, yeah. I really respect the way he went about it too. Mm-hmm. I mean, because he had the opportunity to break it with an open or an empty netter, and I'm glad he basically told everyone, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks for Sorkin because, it would have been a fun little game not to get that goal scored against him. But yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, now he's the all-time, greatest goal scorer. I still don't think he's, the greatest of all time, but
he's the greatest goal scorer of all time, but he's not the greatest of all time.
Exactly.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to ever beat.
Yeah. So
when you think about it, you said it last week, Cody. Just his assist, he'd still be the leading scorer ever in the NHL. Just with assists.
Just assists.
And he's second in goals.
And he's second in
take away all the goals, and he still has more points than everyone combined.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are probably wondering why April 6th is a magical day. So I believe that was the year Gordie Howe got his 801 goals? I believe that's what they said.
I think that's when he set the record.
Or he set the record as one of them. That was also the day that the Washington Capitals won the lottery to get the great 8 Alex Ovechkin. That was the same day, and then that same day, in 2025, he breaks the goal scoring record.
Yeah,
interesting.
Do you guys know that the year before Ovechkin's draft, the Florida Panthers were trying to draft Ovechkin, but he wasn't eligible because he was like 2 or 3 days off by the deadline. And you know what the GM of the Florida Panthers said? Well, he would have been old enough if it wasn't for leap years. So they tried multiple times to draft Alex Ovechkin, but it didn't happen.
Boy, how would that changed?
Yeah, right.
Just see this, how circumstances all fall into place for stuff, and it's.
Mm-hmm. And
wow.
And then Budweiser brilliantly since Ovechkin's a big Bud Light guy, apparently, Budweiser sends beer to every goalie who has faced a shot against Ovechkin and not gave up a goal. And when Budweiser came out with their little Twitter post, Ovechkin put in the comments, "Sorry, Ilya, you didn't get one."
Oh, I know. I mean, you got to give the guy credit because, I mean, how how many shots did he face against Ovechkin? I mean, they were in the same division, so they saw each other a lot.
A lot, yeah. A lot.
But for him
That's
to finally
So-
give it up this late, like
And I like the one thing I liked about what Sorokin did is he gave him his game goalie stick as well, and everything. So I guess it was a class act by Sorokin the whole way too, as well.
oh yeah.
But guess who else got? I don't know all the. I believe was it 28 players that got the beer, but
Actually,
Lukas Stostal was one of them.
we have another former Duck on there too, because Stolars was on that list.
Stoli the goalie's on there.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on the list. Yeah.
Okay, good for him. I've always liked Stolars.
Well,
I've always
it's
liked
funny because like Stolars faced like I think one shot, like Dostal had 2 shots, like
Three.
even like or
It was
3,
3
like
shots,
even the like Curtis Joseph like faced like I think it was like 2 or 3 shots. So yeah, like they.
I think there was only one player that had like 20 something saves and never gave up a goal against Ovechkin.
I think everything was under 20. I think Sorkin was the one that had the most.
Oh. So here's the question that's been going around this last week. Who would you rather have? Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin? And who do you think's better?
Gary,
I don't.
let you.
Yeah,
Well,
Daddy,
why don't I take it? Let the old man take it first.
Yeah,
'Cause I know
Well, 'cause
exactly.
age
I have a
before
longer
beauty.
answer, so
I know who exactly. I'd take Sid the Kid.
Okay.
Multiple
Adam?
cups, all
Cody, you
around
go
great
ahead.
player, face-offs, everything. Sid the
No.
Kid.
I agree with you, Dad, 100%. It's going to be Sidney Crosby for me as well. I know, like, what they say is, like, yeah, the point of the game is to put the puck in the net, but, I mean, Crosby does it, he helps players also do that. He makes players around him better at the same time. So, for me, it would be Sidney Crosby as well.
And that's no slight.
All right, Adam.
Ovechkin's a great player.
Oh,
So
it's not...
it's not
Yeah.
anything to do with that. I just think a more complete player is Sidney Crosby. And Sid is,
Yeah.
I mean, Ovi is obviously the greatest goal scorer in NHL history, so you got to give him his due. But Adam, who do you think?
Yeah.
I agree with both of you guys. Obviously, Sid the Kid's going to make his team around him great. He's kind of, it's a hard comparison, but he's kind of like Gretzky. Gretzky made everyone better around him. Crosby makes everyone better around him as well. Goal scoring wise, obviously you can go with Ovechkin, but more likely to make the team overall better, I'm going to go with Sid the Kid.
Oh, it's a unanimous, huh? Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because it was opposite all the podcasts I was listening, and it was different podcasts, like different networks, different, everyone was saying Ovechkin. And I have nothing against Ovechkin. I was hoping he would break the record because I was watching the game live when it happened. I was watching it when it happened. I mean, I was watching on my phone because I was doing stuff for the podcast, but I wanted to watch history happen.
Yeah, it was a fun goal to watch and watch him do the belly slide through the ice. It was that.
He was saying
he's a character.
He said he toe picked. That's why he slid, is because he toe picked. I'm like, nah, you went for the belly slide, Ovi. Come on.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's great how he did it.
Yeah, and I agreed with what Adam said earlier, that he didn't go out for the empty netter because he didn't want to break the record on the empty netter. Of course, I'm pretty sure every goalie in the league would have prayed that he did it on the empty net because they didn't want to be a part of history. But
all right, so let me see if I can get this. So we have Mike Condon had, what was it, 18 shots against. Matthew Garon had 16. Manny Legacy had 14.
Legacy, that's a name.
Yeah, Manny Fernandez had 10 shots. Bob Zepp had 10 shots. Michael Newverth, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that name.
Eric Eisenberg had 5. Jocelyn Tebow had 5. Jeff Zakoff, Gary should remember that name. 4 shots against. Curtis Joseph, 3 shots. David Arbisher had 3 shots as well. Braden Holtby had, I think that's 3. Garrett Sparks is another one Gary to remember. That's 6 shots against.
Wasn't he
He
an
take-
Ontario Reign goalie for a while?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
he
Zakhoff.
played for a few games for the Kings too.
Sparks and Zakhoff were both Reign and Kings players. Vanacek had 16, I believe.
Vanacek had 16?
Yeah.
They weren't they teammates?
Or no, I take it back. That was 19. Vanacek had 19 shots against.
Wasn't he a Capital, or am I thinking of someone else?
Well, Holtby was.
I know Holtby
yeah.
was.
Let's see. What was that? I can't see the first name, but the last name is Schmid. He had 8.
Eric
Akira
Schmid?
Schmid.
Yeah,
Akira
that's
Schmid.
Kevin Lankinen had 14. Joel Bloomquist had 11. Joel Hoffer.
Wow, he had a lot of guys that he didn't score on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was only Stolars.
Yeah, there was only like 15 to 20. I want to say.
I think it was 28.
28. I think there was 34 goalies, but these were players that actually faced a shot against.
Yeah.
Them.
So Anthony Stolars had 4.
I miss Stolars. I liked him.
Eric Klagugin, I don't know, 4 goals. Devin Levy had 4 shots. Jean-Francois Brube had 3.
Wow.
Sodersom had 2. Colin Delia had 2. Trent Miner had 1. I think that's Jacob Dobell I don't know. It's small. It's hard to see. He had 1. Joey Decord had 14, and Lucas Dostal had 3.
Oh gosh.
So yeah,
I gotta tell 32 Thoughts how to actually pronounce Dostal's name right, because they keep calling him Dostal, and it pisses me off. I really gotta send them a voicemail.
it's like
dope.
me.
So maybe send them a voicemail, but maybe they'll play it.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, the thing I want to say is, and it's probably the best way to actually like tell people how to remember to say it. It was John Broadbent, I want to say is his name. He's the San Diego Gulls. I want to say like he works with the San Diego Gulls. Like he's part of like the thing called Defend the Nest. He was on with Locked On Ducks when it was JD Hernandez a lot. And he said the best way to remember how to say Dostal is say the bakery is closed. Dostal. The bakery is closed because you ain't going to score against Dostal. That he said that was the best way to say it. So I want to make sure he gets the credit for that. So, but how's everything going down with the rain right now, Adam? Or you're not going to as many games?
I mean, I go to the games when I can. It's usually weekend games because of work.
Yeah.
But they clinched the playoffs. They're actually being stupid about their playoffs. So if you opted in for playoff tickets, you get 1 home game in Ontario. The other 2 home games are going to be played at Crypto. Yeah. So then the fun part is even though you opt in for the playoffs, they're going to make you pay for the tickets for Crypto, but you're going to have priority and a little bit of a discount. So it's a little interesting, but they're I want to say they're 2nd or 3rd in the league. They're doing pretty well. I mean, they look good. So see how it goes.
I keep forgetting to look up like how the goals are doing. I know they're
I think they're 2nd to last.
I know they've been better lately, but I know they're, let's see, standings. No, get away. Standings, league standings. All right, we have goals are yes, second to last. They're in ninth place, but I don't think they're in for playoffs.
No, not even close.
Yeah, they're eight points behind. I don't know how many games they play. I know they play different amount of games.
72. No, everyone plays 72 games now in the AHL.
Oh, so they have 4 games left. Yeah, so they would have to win out, and Bakersfield would have to lose out just to tie Bakersfield.
Yeah, but I think Bakersfield has the season series, so they'd get the tiebreaker.
That wouldn't shock me. Yeah, so all right, well, I don't think we had any questions. Let me double check. How's everything going with Patriots hockey, Adam?
Good. The LA team is currently in between seasons at the moment, but we just started up our Ontario team. They're going now. They're 3 weeks into the season, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. Actually, speaking of which, is we have another charity game coming up on April 19th, so next Saturday. We have a limited number of tickets left.
Where is it? Where is it at?
It's going to be at Toyota Arena. We're going to be playing. It's basically going to be a game between Patriots, so it's going to be like LA and Ontario versus San Diego. Hopefully, we're still trying to get the details together about that. But it's going to be at 11:30 game time at Toyota Arena, and then the rain game following is the final game, home game of the season, or the game or final game of the regular season. And I believe they're playing Colorado that night, which is at 6:00.
Oh, isn't Gabriel Landeskog supposed to be playing in that game?
I doubt it.
Well, no, because he's playing 3 games with the Colorado Eagles.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They're playing Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Or Abbotsford.
Okay, the Abbotsford Canucks. Yeah, we don't have any questions, but if you guys have any questions, please, you don't even have to wait for me to send the story out. If you have any questions, just DM us on any social media. If you guys have any questions, we'd love to hear from you guys. Let's see. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to that Patriots game because I'm on call at work and we have to be in our area at all times because if someone runs out of gas or has a gas leak, I have to go and attend. So I'll have the work truck with me and they can track the work truck, and I do not want to get in trouble, especially my first time being on call too. So I'm on call Easter weekend for my first time. Yay.
Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Well, Gary can come out.
Yeah. On Saturday.
You can represent. The wife wants to go to the Angel game that night because it's
the Star Wars
night.
Yeah.
The Millennium Falcon Halo one.
Yeah.
I kind of want that, but it's an Angel one, so I don't.
I want it. I can't go, but I want it.
Well, either way, I'll send you the flyer, Cody. So if you want to post
I'll definitely post that for you. If you have anything, you always know you can send it to me, and I'll post it for you on ours. But we don't have any questions. You have anything else to add, Adam, before we head out?
Yeah. Speaking of Patriots, I do have to give your last guest a little bit of a crap. So, yes, there has been bad blood between the Patriots and the Guardians in the past. For the most part, a lot of us have gotten past that. So we just kind of see the Guardians as just another charitable organization, another team. We're always willing to work with them, play against them, have a good time. But yeah, at one point there used to be bad blood between the two organizations, but a lot of us have gotten past that and we're working against it. So,
well, that's good. Yes. So I didn't even know there was a Guardians team. Because
long story short, the Guardians were formed from Patriots.
Okay, got it. I got you. Yeah, but I didn't know if Kyle played or not, so that's why I didn't know. Because I knew he was in the military, but I didn't know if he played or not, so that's why I brought that up. I didn't know there was I didn't even know there was a Guardians team, to be honest. So when he told me there was blood, I was like, oh, maybe that wasn't the best thing to bring up.
It was funny listening to that episode. I was just sitting at work laughing as I was listening to it. But yeah, it's like I said, in the past it was there, but for the most part, anyone that's a Patriot now, we don't feel any ill will towards the Guardians. You know, we appreciate the friendships that we still have with a lot of the guys. So just to kind of curb that one.
Have you played against Kyle when he was on the Guardians?
Maybe, I don't know. A lot of at the time that I played the Guardians, like I didn't know a lot of the players, but I've gotten to know them over the years now. So I don't know if I've actually played against Kyle or not. I mean, it's possible, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head if I have or not.
Okay. But yeah, I totally forgot about that last week until you brought that up.
I was debating if I wanted to address that at the beginning of the show, but I figured I'd just let it go.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you're here, I always let you talk about the Patriots stuff because it's a great thing to talk about and everything, and it helps everyone out.
Well, I always appreciate you guys letting me come on and promote everything the Patriots have going on.
Oh, yeah, of course, Adam, and we would do that for you.
Wait till you get our bill, Adam.
I just thought it was funny how I'm just like sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden I get a text. What time are we coming on tomorrow? I'm like, oh, so you're coming on, all right.
I mentioned it before you came on.
Yeah,
this morning. I go, well, we should get Adam or Eric on here soon. Well,
I wasn't gonna surprise and then just like, hey, I've been
surprised plenty of times in the last few weeks.
Yeah. Well, this one wasn't as big of a shock than having Locked On Kings Eddie Garcia on.
Yeah,
that was definitely a shock.
Yeah.
So. Listening to that episode almost makes me want to listen to that podcast, but not being a Kings fan, I'm not. But yeah, he definitely has a hell of a voice for podcasting.
He does. He really does.
It's incredible.
And then you heard my sister's friend when my dad was in Texas, right? The one that was
I was laughing the whole time because remember I was giving you crap on the live.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's right. You were giving me crap on the live. Yeah. Which I always expect.
I gotta mess with you guys somehow.
I'm like, there's Adam talking crap to both of us again.
You can tell your mom that I try to keep you guys in check.
Oh, I know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Cody, how many times did I harass your dad about getting names wrong?
Oh God,
it's what I do. I'm going to take ownership of it. So,
well, I actually have a plan for us to have an episode during the off season and I want to bring other people on who don't know hockey as well. And I'm gonna just have a list of names, and I want to see who.
Oh my God! You scared the hell out of me.
She scared the crap out of me.
I appreciate you keeping him in check, Adam.
I try. It's a difficult road, but I try.
But yeah, I want to have like a list of names and just have everyone try to pronounce the name right. I feel like that would be a fun episode to do.
That'd be so funny.
Oh yeah.
Well, we could do that, but it's probably time for us to get rolling here.
Yeah. So, everyone, please go follow Patriots Hockey and support them any way you can. Go to the game. Fortunately, I won't be there, but maybe my dad might be there. But it seems like they're going to the Angels game. But go support Patriots Hockey, and you can go see the rain game.
He said it was at 11:30, right?
Yeah,
in the morning.
The Patriots game is going to be at 11:30. The rain game follows at 6 p.m.
Yeah, it's really hard when we're supposed to be live at 10 a.m. too.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Go live a little early.
Hey, I brought you at 4 a.m. Royally Quacked. But everyone, please go follow, like I said, Patriots Hockey. Go give us a follow on all our social media at Royally Quacked. While you're listening, while you're driving or whatever, when you pull over or you have somewhere to stop, go give us a rating and a review. We'd really appreciate it. And everyone here on the audio part, I know everyone has a YouTube channel. Go to Royally Quack and give us a follow and subscribe there and give us a like as well. We'd really appreciate it as well.
Subscribe.
Like Spike, please. That would be
Like and
very great.
subscribe.
Yep. And
You
go
sound
tell your
like
family and
Jake
friends
right now.
about that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
That's why
I'm just
we
trying
said
to
when
come up
everyone-
with different ways to say it.
When you
But
said
Jake does
everyone,
say-
I know everyone has a YouTube. Like I just started laughing. I was like, man, it sounds
I
like
was like,
I
I didn't even catch that. When you said that, I was like, oh crap, I did sound like Jay. He does say that every time. But I know everyone has a YouTube channel though too. So
that's why
everyone,
I threw out that like spike.
oh, yes, right. That's true. I try not to copy other podcasts, but that one I think just came off because I don't have anything scripted. I'm just saying it as I'm saying it. So, but everyone, yeah, go give us a follow everywhere. Go like and subscribe. As Adam said, like Spike. I don't want to get copyrighted for that. Okay, Crash Spawn, don't come at me on that one. It was Adam. But thank you again, Adam, for joining us this week. We really appreciate it, and as you always know, we always have fun when you're on.
Oh, I know. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always fun.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
We'll see everyone next week, and who knows, we may have another guest that we just randomly get again for next week.
You never know.
You never know. So, all right, we'll see you guys next week, and just remember, this is the last week of regular season games too.
Go Kings, go!
Quack quack. Let's go. Let's go Ducks. Quack.
Quack.
A father